Now that Jeb Bush and Donald Trump have officially announced that they will each be running for president in 2016, I wonder what the Republican primary would look like if it were held today. Well, if you watch Fox News, it might look something like this. There's Jeb right out of the starting gate at the front of the line, followed by Carson, Huckabee, Rubio, Walker, and the rest. A total of 10 candidates shown there. Again, this is from Fox News. But I noticed someone is missing. I mean, where the hell is Rand Paul? The source of the poll clearly indicates Rand Paul in the polling and even features Rand in the official headline. And here it is, 5 leaders in the 2016 Republican White House race. Quinnipiac University National Poll finds Rubio, Paul are only Republicans even close to Clinton. However, according to Fox News, Rand Paul didn't even register enough to be included in their graphic. And this wasn't an accident. I mean, they did the same thing in a poll that they conducted themselves last month to see which candidates matched up best against Hillary Clinton. Rand Paul wasn't included in that poll either. Here's another Fox News graphic from an NBC Wall Street Journal poll. And you see once again Jeb Bush up there on top. But wait a minute, look at the poll numbers. Rand Paul, 44%. And they stuck him there at the bottom even though he outperformed the rest. I mean, he won, yet they threw him there at the bottom. So Fox News up to their old tricks again, and this is some serious deja vu because remember, it wasn't that long ago when they pulled the same dirty tricks on Ron Paul, my president.
We're looking at Mitt Romney, who continues to be the front runner, but we have Rick Perry as well and now Michelle Bachmann. Let's not count out John Huntsman, though.
Yeah, live right next to the bus behind us, Ron Paul is speaking, and 7 of the candidates are here today. We have live pictures of Ron Paul, but you know what? We're talking about Sarah Palin, we're talking about Rick Perry, the 2 people not in the race yet, Drew.
And guess what, Paul? If you get video of Sarah Palin or get a soundbite from her, bring that back to us. You can hold the Ron Paul stuff.
We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say.
Really fair to say? You're not forgetting, I don't know, anyone, say an ideologically consistent 12-term congressman who came within less than 200 votes of winning the straw poll? Isn't anyone going to give that gentleman a little love?
There's a top tier now of Bachmann and Perry and Romney, and, you know, we haven't mentioned, and we should.
Thank you.
We haven't mentioned, and we should, Rick Santorum, who did really surprisingly well for the amount of money and resources he had.
Rick Santorum? He didn't get half of what Ron Paul got.
Well, you see there, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Now it's Rand Paul who's experiencing the media blackout. And it's not just Fox News. I mean, it's the other networks as well. And, you know, what's the big deal? Why Rand Paul? Why the media blackout? Well, for starters, it's the 28 pages. Rand Paul has joined the fight to get the federal government to release the missing 28 pages of the official 9/11 Commission report. And that was blocked and kept secret by the Bush administration. And that's because they know full well that the documents will prove once and for all that the Saudi Arabian government was directly involved in the attacks on September 11th. So very embarrassing, not to mention treasonous by George Bush and Dick Cheney, who are both implicated here in a massive cover-up. And remember, it was George W. Bush himself, the hypocrite, who had this to say about anyone harboring terrorists.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
Oh, is that right, Georgie? It's going to be like that, huh? You're either with us or you are with the terrorist. Well, you're the one, George W., who vacations with the Saudi royal family. And you're also the one who used to vacation with the bin Laden family. You're also going to find yourself in prison if these documents ever see the light of day.
This is sort of shocking when you read it. As I read it, and we all had our own experience, I had to stop every couple pages and just sort of absorb and try to rearrange my understanding of history for the past 13 years and the years leading up to that. It challenges you to rethink everything. And so I think the whole country needs to go through that.
That's right. These brave gentlemen have seen the 28 pages and they want the documents released. You heard Representative Thomas Massey say right there that it will challenge you to rethink everything. Whatever is in those documents is going to change world history.
I want those documents declassified. I'm embarrassed to be associated with a work product that is secret.
But wait, there's more. Former Senator Bob Graham, who also co-chaired the joint Senate-House investigation into the September 11th attacks, he says, I am convinced that there was a direct line between at least some of the terrorists who carried out the September 11th attacks and the government of Saudi Arabia. He called it a smoking gun. And he went on to say the reason for this cover-up goes right up to the White House. Meanwhile, here's what they are saying in the New York Post. The Saudis deny any role in 9/11, but the CIA in one memo reportedly found incontrovertible evidence that Saudi government officials, not just wealthy Saudi hardliners, but high-level diplomats and intelligence officers employed by the kingdom, helped the hijackers both financially and logistically. And if the Saudi government did indeed help finance and train the hijackers, well, that, my friends, that is an act of war. And I'm so glad to see the truth finally beginning to surface. Senator Rand Paul has just introduced legislation called the Transparency for the Families of 9/11 Act. And that would force the Obama administration to release the 28 pages.
Over a decade ago, a bipartisan congressional committee investigated the 9/11 attacks and wrote a report. 28 pages from that report have never been released to the public. We're here today to call for a release of those 28 pages. The survivors, civilian heroes, and families of the victims of September 11 terrorist attacks, some of whom are here today, deserve the full truth. We cannot let page after page of blanked out documents be obscured behind a veil, leaving these families to wonder if there is additional information surrounding these horrible acts.
So there you have it. Rand Paul thinks that we all have the right and that the 9/11 victims' families have the right to see what's in those documents, no matter how embarrassing or how incriminating it might be to George W. Bush. So what do you say there, W? Why don't you let us see what's in those 28 pages? After all, you've got nothing to hide, right? I mean, either you are with us or you are with the terrorist. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Vote for Jeb, or you're just fucking stupid.
Fool me, we can't get fooled again.